When you first join RMC, otherwise known as Rooney's Marine Corps, you'll be greeted with the usual Space Station 14 lobby screen. If you have never played Space Station at all, I will try my best to get you through this either way. On the right hand side of your screen, you'll see a Customize button. This lets you create your character. The only things you really need to worry about is your preferred squad. Everything else is cosmetic. Well, on the appearance tab at least. The preferred squad just will try to put you in, well, as you guessed, that preferred squad. Bravo will always take care of the forward operating base. I have never not seen that deviate, but what you need to know is that if you want to have a more chill experience, if you're really uncomfortable with controls, you should probably pick Bravo, because you will be the safest. Alpha, Charlie, and Delta I have seen have varying orders. I typically see Alpha doing the more heavy frontline fighting, and Charlie as well. Delta seems to be more of a supplemental unit a lot of the times. I have Para dropped as Delta, I have reinforced Alpha, I've reinforced Charlie, I've even reinforced Bravo as Delta. In the job menu, I highly recommend the first thing you try in this game is Rifleman. Rifleman sees the meat and bones of the game. They are the least responsible role on the ground. You're the lowest of the low in the hierarchy. You're going to be an E1, a private. Everyone's above you, and your own life is not as significant as others. That sounds a little cruel, but it's true. No one really cares too much when a rifleman goes missing. In this instance, we are going to be joining late. That means the Marines are already going to be on the planet, and we are going to wake up in cryo alone. If you join in the first 5 to 10 minutes, you should probably be able to prepare fast enough as a rifleman, maybe not if you're brand new, to make it down on the first drop. However, that's okay to not make it on the first drop. We're just going to join anyway. So I just click Join UNMC, and I will click Rifleman. So now that I've clicked Rifleman, I'm going to wake up in a cryopod. This cryopod is going to be in your designated squad. If you do not know what squad you're in, you can shift click yourself and it will immediately tell you what squad you're in. For example, I'm a Delta Rifleman. I have cosmetics that also will label itself depending on the squad I'm in, which helps me out. I also just like the scarf. When you wake up, you're going to be ravenously hungry, but that's okay. You spawn in a room full of food. Just grab some meals and just eat them. Most people eat them while on the go, but we're not in any real rush. We are already late to the operation. It is all good. Thankfully, your preparation room is linear. There's only one direction to go. After your food machines, you're going to be met with the automated marine equipment rack. Here, you're just going to get your equipment. They are in categories and you'll take one at a time. I heavily recommend you stick to the green stuff at first. It is the easiest to use. So you need your standard marine apparel. This will put on your clothes and give you a helmet. So put your helmet on or wear your hat, whatever. Then take armor. Medium armor seems to be the most popular choice among riflemen. I sometimes use light. Heavy, I'm sure there will be more of a case for it at some point, but right now I just feel like heavy is just going to slow you down too much as a new player. You already spawned with a satchel, so you don't need to worry about putting on a satchel. I would not recommend the backpack, especially when you're brand new. The backpack cannot be opened instantly, so like I'm pressing B to open my backpack, and it opens and closes instantly. The backpack has a do after bar, meaning I can't even move and open it. So that could be really confusing as a new player. We're going to just take the pattern ammo load rig. This just fits magazines. It goes on your belt slot, and we can fit 5 magazines in here. And the pouches is where things are going to be very controversial of what you want to take. As a new player, I recommend you take things to help take care of yourself. So I think a first aid pouch is really convenient, especially when I was like brand new. This helped me keep myself alive. Gauze is invaluable as a rifleman. It lets you stop your bleeding the moment it happens. And there is a lot of people fighting at one time. A corpsman is not always going to be able to get to you right away while you're bleeding. So please take the time to at least get gauze if you're not going to take the pouch. Alternatively, for pouches, I normally end up getting something like a magazine pouch. I feel like you really can't go wrong though as long as you're just taking the slots. The slots are pretty self-explanatory. Shotgun shells hold shotgun shells. First aid pouches hold first aid items. Don't worry about things like document pouches. Light general pouches really don't hold much of anything. If you want to run a pistol, take a pistol magazine pouch. If you want an extra gun, take the sidearm. There's way better equipment you could get elsewhere, but to keep things not as confusing, we're just going to take some meds. We're going to take the injectors as well. So now I have the ability to heal brute damage. So if I get slashed by a Xeno, I can heal that with my Carradine. If I get burned by acid, I can heal myself with Kelitane. And if I take general damage, I can heal myself with Trico. So if it's like a mix of damage, I can do that. Also, again, gauze will stop bleeding and ointment will heal a little bit of burns. So that is all of your pouch slots. After this, you have points remaining. You can use this to buy additional equipment that is normally harder to get in general. So like AP magazines are always a good choice. Most Xenos on the planet are going to have some form of armor, and AP will let you get through that armor easier and do more damage. You can also take grenades. A lot of this, again, is self-explanatory. So a lot of this stuff is also kind of a noob trap. There's basically no reason to spend points on webbing. I have never not got webbing for free, and certain things like binoculars and stuff you can also just get generally for free. But to keep things simple, we're not going to spend any points for now. We're going to keep moving left, only direction we can go. As we are moving left, you're going to be met with this room. If you are late to this area, it is going to be messy as hell. The machines we are interested in are the automated weapons rack. Here we will get our weapons. I will also just recommend you take the assault rifle. It is a generic assault rifle. It has a big magazine. It has a stock that you can extend, which you definitely want to extend it. You can just right click and toggle it now so you don't forget. People who are definitely more savvy with controls can toggle that type of stuff, but even I have a hard time managing keybinds in this server. And then you're going to want to keep an eye on the ammunition. We got an M54C, so M54 magazine will go in the gun. You get the mag in your hand, you just left click the gun, and now you're ready to fire. There's no chamber, there's no bolts you have to worry about in this server. Shotguns and stuff you do at the pump, but in this case, this gun is now ready to fire if I put it in my hand. So we are going to take some extra magazines, and we're going to fill up our ammo rig with it, because that is what we grabbed. Keep going until it is full. We can fit 4 magazines in there. And just to double check, yes, we have all of our magazines. Of course, you could prepare better than this. You now also have the choice of taking sidearms like pistols. There's a sidearm ammunition. There's some basic attachments. You can always slap on something like a flashlight grip. Getting better attachments is first come, first serve. I'll show you that really quickly. I also like to put a bayonet on the end of the gun. It helps you melee things, and you do a lot of melee in this server. Over here, there is extra vendors for possibly additional equipment. The M54C is a very popular option, knowing those magazines are gone, so sometimes you can find extra AP mags here for free. There's also the automated utility squad vendor, where here you can find extra things. I like taking fire extinguishers. People get caught on fire all the time. You can find things like machetes. There's a binoculars I was talking about. A lot of good stuff here that has a lot of good purpose. You can also grab some flares here as well. The planet is usually very dark, and flares are very nice. I put those in my backpack because that is really the only place they'll fit on me. And then you have your attachment vendor. There's a lot of stuff that goes on here. If you can get your hands on a magnetic harness, do it. If I drop this gun in any case, you can press F to pull the gun off your back instantly, and I press Q, it will instantly snap back onto my armor. If I get knocked down, the gun will go back to on my back. It makes it really difficult to lose your gun, and losing your gun sucks. But that's really it for the basics of equipping yourself. Over here, you'll find a uniform surplus, and this is where you can find things like webbing vest. Brown webbing vest and black webbing vest can't hold magazines. A normal webbing, such as this one, can hold magazines. These have 5 slots of smaller items. The webbing can hold 3 bigger slots. So now I can grab even more ammunition, and on longer operations, you're going to run out of ammunition, and resupplying down on the planet isn't quite as easy as it is up here, as you could probably imagine. So now I have every single slot in my inventory filled relatively, other than my armor. Medium armor can also hold 3 magazines, so now I'm carrying a decent bit of ammunition. Of course, I could go back and spend points on AP. This is just a demonstration purpose. I'm also trying to get to the planet and don't want to spend all that time prepping. Having a body on the ground is more useful than just staying up here on Almire. Other than that, we could take more gauze. We have a little bit more room in our pouches. We have more room in our backpack, so I feel like at this point, I'm just going to fill my backpack with extra magazines, and now we are good to go. Could I have prepared better? Absolutely, but that's up to you. Prep is a big part of this game. Now we're going to head down to the planet. On the right hand side of your screen, you can always view your tactical map, and this will give you an idea of where Marines are at. This is not updated in real time, it is updated in pings. You can hold right click to move it around, and you'll see where you're going to end up landing. If you see these yellow indication, this is where the forward operating base is. That is Bravo working on it. We will be landing here when we get there. We're going to also take a very quick walk around Almire. So now that we're out here, we're in a public hall. Delta and Charlie, which is purple, are at the south part of the ship. Directly north of the Charlie and Delta prep is the briefing room. This is where the beginning of most operations will take place, but the operation has already begun. If we continue north of this prep room, we will end up in the Alpha and Bravo like cryo room, prep room. It is identical. It is mirrored. They just walk south instead of north. Now all we need to do to get to the actual fighting is we need to walk west and keep walking west. We are now approaching medical and passing medical. Medical is a pretty big area, and we are technically on one of the 2 floors of the ship, but we don't need to go to the other floor to get to the battle. So now we're going to sit around here and wait for the dropships to come. Usually you'll see other people hanging around here, but in this case, it seems like I'm alone. You could kind of just stay around here in the middle if you really want to see what ship's going where, but it's usually, in my experience, the Alamo that goes down. There are 2 dropships that can be found in this hangar. There is the Alamo and the Normandy. The Alamo is tan, and that is usually, again, the one that will be taking you to and from the landing zones. Sometimes the Normandy is doing that, but in this case, I believe it is just the Alamo. Just wait around here and hope that somebody will either give you some direction or you'll see the ships come back eventually. All we could do right now at this exact second is wait. In this case, of course, since I'm trying to record a tutorial video, they have lost almost instantaneously. It appears the Marines have lost within 10 minutes of the operation, and I didn't even have a chance to do much of anything. Usually, you would get on the Alamo and go back down, but the Marines have managed to lose instantaneously. I'll try to get other footage of me late joining, just so you can see what you do. Alright, so in this case, I am also late to the start of the operation, and I am taking the Alamo back down to the landing zone. Once you get down here, well, you're going to see people already set up. You're going to, again, see Bravo doing their usual thing of setting up the fob, or already be set up depending on how late you're there. In this case, people are just kind of chilling and talking. To get to your squad, if you're not in Bravo, you are going to use your SL tracker and try to use a mix of using the tactical map to try to orient yourself. It's possible, and that if they're pushed up really far, you're going to have to push rather far across the map, and especially when you're brand new, you're obviously not going to have any idea where you're going. Hopefully, though, in your case, you're going to at least hopefully see a trail of Marines leading towards your people. There's usually not giant gaps of nothingness. As you can see, I opened my map for a little bit to kind of give myself an idea of where to go, but mostly you just follow your arrows. Make sure you keep your gun in your hand. You could definitely get jumped. It happens. And you want to at least have a chance to fight off whatever is attacking you. If you get jumped alone by like a lurker or something, you're probably not going to have a great time, but hopefully you make it to your squad leader like I did. In this case, my original squad leader was already completely gone, and the squad leader was a fire team leader. However, though, Overwatch will automatically designate a new squad leader for you, so as far as you're concerned, you just get to your respective color L. So in my case, I was Delta, I go to the blue L. Now at this point, you just follow them. You do whatever they say to do. You are a rifleman, you shoot Xenos, try not to shoot people in the back. You could take time to like try to use a fire extinguisher to put people out. And of course, when the queen screams or people get like CC'd, you want to left click them with an open hand to shake them. You can unstun Marines this way. You can also put out fires by doing this. It is very, very helpful, and arguably the most important thing you can actually do as a new player is shake people. If you want to shake people that look important, like shake people with rocket launchers, you want to shake squad leaders, smart gun operators, basically anyone with a bigger gun than you is probably a priority to be woken up first. There's a lot to take in, but this should get you your feet on the ground, hopefully to your squad leader, or with your squad leader if you're lucky to have joined the operation from the beginning, and start shooting some Xenos. If you arrive on time before the first ships have left, you will now take a turn at briefing. Briefing normally happens in, well, the big briefing hall, as you probably saw earlier in the video. Briefing is north of the Delta Charlie prep room and south of the Alpha Bravo prep room. You really can't miss it. It's a big room with colored tiles, a bunch of chairs, and a central room. Sometimes briefing happens in the hangar, which, as you also saw earlier, is where the dropships are. Just pay attention to your radio or your chat. Otherwise, you'll sit here, people explain what's going to happen in the operation. Anyways, that's really the only difference between late joining and joining early is how much time you spend on the ship. Either way, the process of getting down is the same. But of course, if you could join on time, do it, because it's way safer. It's way easier to stay coordinated. Thank you for watching, and good luck, Marine.